Hello, it's Maikeeb, and today we're going to be talking about the DS rework and how it affects it in a design and competitive way. Because what they did to it was they added interactions which progressed the game to deactivate it. So just set the timer to 0 and get rid of it. So what this does, it fixes one of the blaring issues with the perk, where it had a use beyond anti-tunneling, which was use an offensive way to just get stuff done. Like Decisive would activate and they get 63 seconds healing or doing a gen for free, which wasn't the whole purpose of the perk and was really big and why a lot of people took it. It's why I took it. If I got a DS off, it means I got some chase down. And I probably want to get some gen because you most of the time want to get the equal amount of chase, gen, and healing done because they all just scale and get harder to get the higher tier of. So it's easier to go to silver to gold in Lightbringer than it is to go to gold to iridescent in Vader. So that's why I think like that, and that's why I use DS. But what they did is that they took power out of it. But I feel like now as an anti-tunneling perk, it's just they have to down you within 60 seconds for it to activate. So I feel like they still need to buff it. They took power away, but I think they should bring power back. Because I don't think it was particularly super strong. It didn't waste too much time with the killers. Kind of does if you hit him over and over again, but you can just slug if you pay attention. There's ways to avoid it and still get value out of the person that still has DS up. What I think is that they should just extend the duration of it. So if you're getting tunneled, you don't have to force yourself down and bait out pickup, which doesn't work if they are paying attention because they'll just wait the extra 10 seconds. So it could be that it lasts indefinitely, which is really weird to think about. It's yes, lasting indefinitely, that can be. But there's ways to deactivate it now, and you might have to broaden the list. But if they're not repairing generators, healing, sabotaging hooks, or doing anything like that to progress the game, they're obviously being useless, and there's obviously a reason. They're either AFK or being chased. There's two reasons. Or they could be following the killer, deactivating traps, and just being a nuisance. But then the killer can just end up hitting them and slugging them, so that's the counterplay to that. But I don't think it should be indefinitely. I think it's indefinitely until you go onto the ground, and then it's 30 seconds on the ground, so you have to camp you on the ground. So it's game losing to tunnel someone. You know what I mean? Which it isn't right now. To avoid DS, it isn't game losing. But if you want to tunnel someone, you either burn through the DS or you just slug them out for the 30 seconds. So that's what I propose. There's obviously other nuance to it. Maybe it isn't just supposed to be an anti-tunneling perk. Because I've always been a very good, I like promoting adding base powers or base abilities to survivors, so you can take chase, because survivor builds or all the competitive ones are all just filled with chase perks. So you want to take the power out of the chase perk, make it default, maybe weaken it a bit, whatever. So and since there's less power on the perks, Decisive Strike is default in the game, and then the new Decisive Strike doesn't change chase, they'll be incentivized to replace it with stuff like Bond, because the value of Bond will now be higher than average. It will climb up the tier list of perks, survivor perks. So things that fix problems in the game, especially in chase, I think should just be based in the game, or be something with items or something like that, where it's on top of your perks. We also got an object of obsession change that we got found, or not found, but shown on the stream. the Q&A stream for that DBD did, where they showed this. It's where, I'll show it up on the screen now, but basically you get to see the killer when the killer sees you, like your aura, but it automatically shows you it automatically shares both auras every 40 to 30 seconds based on tier, and it increases odds of being obsession. It might be like one of those things where you use it, since it lasts for 3 seconds, if the killer uses barbecue and chili, they look around, and then they pick someone, they go after them. That 3 seconds is long enough for you to know which survivor they're going after. So it might be like a weird thing where you want tier 1 of this, because you don't want it proccing. You want the passive part telling you whenever the killer sees you and what they're doing. And you don't want to show them you when their perk activates, as their perks are designed to show them you when they want to know you. Maybe like the random occurrence isn't that bad when I think about it. I don't know, I would have to test it a lot. Like, do you particularly, like, is that even like a good thing? You should be on the gen all the time. Like, if it's a stealth killer, I guess it's useful. Wait, actually, if it's a stealth killer, I don't think it actually does anything. I'd have to see, do you not see the killer because they're in like stealth, but they see you? Because that could be. Yeah, because it says your aura is revealed to the killer for 3 seconds. But whenever your aura is shown, but the passive is whenever your aura is shown, you can see the killers. But the passive wouldn't work backwards. So I actually think against Wraith, Ghostface, it quite literally might just show you to the killer randomly, which is just kind of hilarious. And I think actually an oversight. Obviously this has to be tested, and I would have to ask, because like because if we go back to the DS change, which isn't really obvious, you see how it says healing? A lot of people were confused that if someone healed you right off of hook, it would get rid of it. But it's only on actions you take. So if someone heals you to full, it won't deactivate the Decisive Strike. So it might just be like a wording like that for Object of Obsession, which I'm not seeing here, which covers that. But I don't know. I have a feeling stealth killers are going to love it when they take Object now, which is the reverse of what it used to be like a long time ago. I remember when it used to be like you could see the killer during stealth, and it was like he's counted to Wraith. And like when Ghostface came out and they finally noticed it, bless Wraith mains, they just get ignored. They get the add-on rework and then they just got ignored. Which is kind of the nerfs. No, not really. I think they talk a lot about nerfs, but I don't think they do much about nerfs. I think they just fix a lot of bugs for nerfs. No, they don't fix power bugs, but they fix bugs of blinking through things that just used to break the game. If it doesn't break the game, they usually don't fix it immediately because there's so many bugs in the game. Well, I think that's all for today's video. So if you enjoyed this little rant and exploration of how this affects the design and kind of the mechanics in a competitive way, in a competitive light, we'd love it if you could subscribe. I think we're almost, as I'm recording it, we're at 98 subscribers. So I'd love the subscriber, like just the top out of 100. And then, if you could like the video and comment, that'd be great. And thanks for watching.